Let's talk about who you want to be. Take the next 60 seconds and ask yourself, where am I now and where do I want to go? Now, I'm serious. Pause the video for 60 seconds. Now, hopefully you asked yourself that question. Now, just by doing that, you've set yourself apart from the vast majority of other people. Most tend to just do the next thing, never really considering if it's moving them closer to who they want to be and where they want to go. Now, everyone changes over time due to life experiences. You're not the same person that you were in high school or college or even in your first job. If you're married, you're not the same person you were when you were dating or when you were first married, or if you had kids as a parent, and as I've experienced the last few years, even as a grandparent. Now, have these experiences made you better? Have you grown into the person that you want to be? Now, whether the answer to that is yes or no, if you're breathing, there's still a reason that you're here and a purpose that you need to fulfill every day. For however long you've got left on this planet, do you want to let life just happen to you? Or do you want to intentionally keep growing into that person that you're aspiring to? Now, if the latter, how are you going to get there? Understanding who you are and where you want to go may take some outside input, so consider who you want to ask that question to get that input. Look for examples around you for those that you respect and aspire to be like. Then consider asking them how they would like to see you grow. This is less about feedback and more about feed forward. It's very aspirational and very positive. Then it's time to define the areas that you want to focus on to get you there. I've identified 4 areas that I believe are going to help me reach my goals. They're in the areas of physical, mental, spiritual, and relational. And when I say relational, I'm focused on my marriage. The challenge is to remember to do the things regularly that I hold as important and find a way to know how I'm doing and track it. Because I can be weak at times and lose my way, I've created a daily scorecard to help remind me of those things and to help me track my progress. Now, while life, a lot of it is completely out of my control, the areas on my scorecard are definitely in my control, and therefore a great measurement of how disciplined I'm currently being. So while I set longer term goals, I focus on days because it keeps me focused on what I need to be doing right now in order to be who I want to be. And as they say, you pay attention to your days, your months will take care of yourself. So this is on a Excel spreadsheet. It's got 31 days down the left-hand side, and across the top there are 10 habits that I want to aspire to achieve every single day. Now, print one of these out at the beginning of every month. If you choose to do this, I encourage you to come up with 10 things that you can have across the top of your page that are going to help you grow into that person and get to where you want to do. It also makes it easy to have a percentage for each day on how well you did. Now, the areas that I use is I want to sleep 7 hours every night, so I check that off if I made it. I want to have a quiet time and journal every day. I want to listen well before and during meetings. I want to meet nutritional goals. I aspire to have a salad every day and not eat after 7 p.m. I want to have all my screens turned off by 10:30. Exercise, that's for me, weights and core work. I want to take at least 8,000 steps a day. It used to be 7, and I wanted to up that. I want to read 30 minutes a day, usually something around personal growth or inspirational biographies. I want to monitor the intake of my eyes and ears to make sure there's no unhealthy distractions during the day. And I want to take a nightly walk with my wife to talk and pray. Now, this far right column is where I put the percentage of how I did that day. And I added up at the end of the month, the average, and I can see how I compare from previous months. Now, also at the end of the month, we'll review, do any of these goals need to be changing? If I'm not reaching them regularly, is that still a goal, or do I need to lower it? Or do I need to raise it like I did with my steps, or replace it completely with a different goal? When I've looked back at previous months, there's some goals that are no longer on here, and I've added some to dial it in to actually get closer to what I want to be. Now, you might have days, weeks, or even months where you don't fill this out. Don't let that keep you from jumping back in. I've had periods of time where the busyness of life sidetracked me, and I didn't fill it in for an extended period of time. But I have a training mentality. Those goals are still there. And, for example, last month, I didn't even do the first 2 weeks, but it didn't keep me from jumping back in and doing the last half of last month, and I kept going here. Now, I believe life is not so much competition with other people, but competition with yourself. So whether you try something like this or some other method, I encourage you to take the time to define the 2.0 version that you want to be and daily take practical steps to move towards that. So what have you found that's helped you keep growing? Feel free to put your comments below.